A big boost for little vehicles. Welcome back to Techstination. Joining us from Squad Mobility is CEO Robert Hoevers. Great to see you again, Robert.
Great to see you, Fred. How are you?
Terrific. Well, this week, Squad Mobility received funding from EU through the Giants Consortium, which has 23 partners that include Renault, Toyota Europe, and Valeo. Let's go over what it is you're building and what these funds will be used for.
Yeah, so this is a European call, as it is in the Horizon program from the European Commission. This call specifically targets the development of a frugal urban mobility solution. It's going to be, we call it the Giants. It is a acronym. I have to look it up what it means exactly, but you can find it in the description. It is a platform which offers a frugal, so affordable urban mobility solution. It has to be electric, it has to be clean, it has to be on solar, and also with the use of swappable batteries. In the consortium, there's a whole group of companies that add to the platform on the battery level, on the drivetrain level. There are 3 OEMs. We are one of them. We are focused on advanced markets, as we call them, like Europe, and the personal transport. We're going to make a 2-person L6 and a 4-person L7 version. That's European homologation. The L stands for low-speed vehicle. And then we have also another partner that's making the more of an emerging market tuk-tuk equivalent based on the same platform. And we have another partner more focused on cargo solutions.
Very interesting. So what does this mean for your company that's been working on this, I don't know, for how many years now?
Yeah, since 2020, more or less. We started in 2019, but we started working on this vehicle in 2020. It means a lot. First and foremost, of course, the funding itself. That means a lot for a company of our size. We're still an early stage company. 1.35 million euros. The total budget for us is a little bit more in this project. But first and foremost, the place that we have in the whole consortium and the help that we are getting from all the partners in the consortium. So the big OEM partners that you mentioned, but also a battery partner that actually also receives funds from the same program. The total program has a budget of 12 million euros. So they receive also funding to help us again and the other 2 OEMs to develop the swappable battery system. Then another partner, Valeo, that helps us with the drivetrain, the reduction, if you will, the gearing system, and the vehicle control unit, the central computer, and the inverter. There's another partner on the solar field that will supply the whole solar roof as part of the drivetrain and the electronics with it. And then we have many partners, universities, research institutions, like Virtual Vehicle in Austria, like the University of Brussels, and I'm forgetting a lot of them because we have 22 partners that contribute in digital twins, in simulations, both simulations in vehicle dynamics, in vehicle noise, in all kinds of simulations, market investigation. That's what we're currently doing now. We just released quite a big survey to gather information from the market. both consumers, cities, professionals. And for this, we're working together with a company called Police. It's a European institute that combines European cities. So yeah, as you notice, I can talk for a long time about this project. But it's a big project. It's a big deal for us.
Describe for us your vehicles and where things are in the process of getting them built for your customers.
Yeah, so we have developed the first prototype, what we call the proof of concept, to show that it works. We showed it in many places around the world, also in Las Vegas. I think we met there in Las Vegas, or at least virtually. And the next step is the development of what we call the proof of product. So there's one step further towards production. It's actually the pre-production model, where all the parts and sub-assemblies are developed further towards production ready status, so to say, whether it's procurement or whether it's a part that we build ourselves, or that we but further engineered towards that stage, production stage, and this whole European program ties in very well with that timeline and with that project that we were doing anyways.
Well, the vehicles themselves, let's describe for our audience, people who are listening, what these vehicles are like. These have a solar panel on the roof. They're small.
Yeah, we call them a solar city car. You see a difference between Europe and USA. We have around half of our pre-orders coming from the USA. What a lot of people in the world don't know is that around 10% of US people live in communities, gated communities, golf cart communities, seaside communities, all these communities where they use golf carts now. And they see this vehicle as an alternative or an evolution of a golf cart, if you will, with, say, air conditioning, way more efficient, more spacious inside, with doors, and the solar, of course, with swappable batteries, also road legal. So a whole new evolution of this segment. So that's for the US. Most of our US pre-order customers, they see it as an addition to their fleet of vehicles that they have anyways. In Europe, it's different. In Europe, it's more seen as a urban mobility solution or a suburban mobility solution, where people see it actually as a replacement of their second car. The biggest market in Europe is Germany, but we also do pre-orders in France and Spain and Italy and UK, so a lot of places. And further, you see interest worldwide, also in Asia, but and a lot of islands. That's funny that we have a special attraction to islands, Caribbean islands, European islands, holiday resorts, company campuses, all kinds of use cases that you can think of.
Because these top out at what, about 43 miles per hour, and have a range. I think with the biggest battery configuration, maybe you have a range of 60 miles or so. Is that correct?
Yeah. I'm not a historian in miles. I'm better in kilometers. But yeah, I think in US it's 25 miles an hour or 42 kilometers an hour. We are also developing one that goes up to 70 kilometers an hour, 70. That is, that's a European. It's called the L7 category. 25 miles an hour is it's a low speed vehicle category, like you have in US. But you see different categories worldwide in this segment. So as it comes to range, we have a maximum of 6 swappable batteries that the vehicle will hold, and those 6 batteries will give 150 kilometers range, around 100 miles, so to say.
That's terrific. So these, you anticipate, will start arriving to customers, people who have put in the pre-orders. When do you expect that they'll begin getting them?
Yeah, we're aiming for to start the production in 25, in late 25. The difficulty with these kind of projects is not so much. It is difficult to plan because this is a big product, so it is difficult to plan in itself. But the difficulty in our case and in many cases with startups, that you have to plan both the development of the vehicle and the financing rounds at the same time, and that makes it hard because when it comes to financing, you never know when you get the money in. Because financiers, you cannot rush them. They take the time they need. So that makes it difficult. So we're aiming for 2025, a little bit more than a year, to go into production. Yeah.
And as far as the technology is concerned, this is ready. This solar panel will give you a certain amount of charge.
Yeah.
Having the battery swappable means you can keep going.
Yeah, you can. So you basically have three ways to charge. You can swap out the batteries. You can just charge the batteries in the vehicle with a charge plug or on a charge point, and it charges on solar, and that's default. It always will charge on solar throughout its whole life cycle, whether you're driving or whether you're stationary. In Amsterdam, which is not so good because we're far north, you can charge up to 22 kilometers on a nice day, sunny day. If you're lucky enough to live in Las Vegas, for instance, you'll be able to charge 30 kilometers each day throughout the year. But also in the winters in Las Vegas will be better than the winters in Amsterdam, of course. Probably we anticipate that somebody in Las Vegas will probably never have to charge again with a vehicle like this in an average use case. That is, you see that people travel on average like 10 to 15 kilometers a day with these kind of vehicles.
Do you have a plan to utilize these in the mobility ride sharing sector?
Absolutely, yeah. The squad is specifically designed for ride sharing, both ride sharing, fleet, and also use cases like food delivery, those kind of fleet. But yeah, ride sharing is perfect for our use case, and I can talk for a long time about it. I try to explain it shortly. First and foremost, with the solar, because the solar charging is automatic, and charging the fleet with electric vehicles is one of the highest operational costs of shared mobility. Part of this is done automatically, depending on where you live and the season, of course. But so you shave off a lot of the cost of these this charging. Then we have the swappable batteries, and again, with the swappable batteries, it's much easier to charge. You keep your fleet charged than to move the vehicles to a charge point, obviously. So you drive around the city with say an electric bus, and you have your swappable batteries in a mobile charging station, and you swap them out in the vehicle as far as it's needed, apart from the sun. And then obviously the vehicles are very efficient, so they don't use a lot of energy. And then if you look at from a distance to the shared mobility space, you see the two-wheelers. They're popular: kick scooters, bikes, mopeds. In Europe, mopeds are very popular. However, they have a problem that they fall over, they tip over. If there's a lot of wind, you see them lying around Amsterdam, and they get damaged because of that. You see the steering wheels, you see the mirrors, you see the throttle controls and everything. It breaks off because they fall over. So stability-wise, and not everybody feels happy on a two-wheeler, huh? And you also need the infrastructure like bike paths and that stuff to drive safely on two-wheeler. Not everybody feels happy on a two-wheeler. A lot of people feel more secure on a four-wheeler. However, if you look at cars, sharing cars, it's very hard to make ends meet with sharing on a sharing car platform, because a car is actually a little bit too expensive to to really yeah, make profitable in such a platform. So what you actually need in a theoretical case is actually the smallest four-wheeler that you can get. And that's exactly what we're doing. The smallest four-wheeler with solar charging, with swappable batteries, very robust, very rugged, very low capital expense, very low operational expense. So from all facets, we're targeting that sharing market.
Now, the prices start at 6,250 euros. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's excluding tax, and that is the base version. The base version doesn't have doors. We see that around 25% of our consumers, our pre-orders, is without doors. With doors and with tax in Europe, it would be around 8,500 when you have a 20% tax, which you have here in Amsterdam, 21%. So and that's still, I think, very affordable. So we are actually looking for the gap in between the two-wheelers and the four-wheelers, and we see and we think we fit there very well.
Do you also have ambitions to add, and of course it would be much more expensive, autonomous driverless capabilities to these?
Well, yeah, obviously we think about those things. The first thing that we think is very important, and which seems like yeah, with people now and then forget, is the that's for us extremely important, because it's a small vehicle, and air conditioning is getting more and more important worldwide, and also because we have a lot of interest from especially hot places where there's a lot of sun. When it comes to autonomy, because we are an urban solution, we are an urban vehicle, and we are and also suburban, and it is more complex for us to obviously it's more complex to drive through the city than drive on a highway, and it is extremely expensive. So this is not the first focus. Are you still there? Because you just disappeared. Okay, I see it's still recording. So this is not our first focus, but it's something we are planning to do in the long term. And the main goal of adding autonomy is to have the possibility for the fleet to move autonomous to those places with the highest demand in the city. So in the city, you'll always have the issue of the disparity, or how do you call it in English, of the difference between demand and supply. You see the same with taxis. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon, nobody can get a taxi anymore, because the supply is not enough to meet demand. So with autonomy, you can try to change that. So you can move the vehicles to those places, like the financial district, to move to those places at 5 o'clock in the afternoon where the most demand is. So that's the main use case for autonomy that we see.
Very interesting. So for more information, Robert, where can people go?
Yeah, squadmobility.com. It's our website. We just added an invest option. That's unfortunately only for Europeans, or for not for people in the US, but I don't know. Some people also have a European place of stay now and then. So yeah, so you can find everything there.
Squadmobility.com. Robert Hoevers, congratulations on the innovations, and thanks for spending time with us.
Thank you very much.